All right, we are recording. Let me get this set back on and let me set up the other two cams, and we're gonna start sluicing and get everything that we had chopped sluiced, and then we got to keep chopping. That's for sure. But all right, let me hook this one up out here. Yep, not bad. At the end of the sluice, just like the last video, I thought having those 3 angles was going to be like the best thing. One person in the comments already on my last video, he gave me a pretty easy, straight up good idea, okay, to increase the water flow just a little bit on this pump and take this screen out and try dumping 2 buckets and see if it washes it out more efficiently, and I'd be able to process more copper. I thought that was awesome idea, because I don't have to do anything to the setup but just take that out and turn some water pressure up and see if it comes out cleaner. If it does, thank you, Todd. And if it, if it doesn't, or if it has problems, or if I have copper washing out into my catch, then I might have to put that thing back in. But if that's not the case and it works just like you think, I appreciate that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Boom. That's what we're throwing our copper into now. This has got a lot of holes drilled at the bottom, so it'll get a good drain. It's good. Okay. So I'm going to try that idea that Todd left in the comments, and we'll see what happens. Pulling the screen out, that's going to increase a bit more flow. And he said to just turn this up a little bit and then dump 2 buckets. Let's dump a couple and see what happens. Turn the pressure washer on. Yeah. That's pretty fast flow, man. That water is moving quick. That water is moving fast. Holy crap. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, that was 1. Here's 2. I'm curious to see if this is going to work better. I almost think just moving the screen might be enough flow. Okay, that was 2. Let's go look at it. Oh! I am seeing copper in here, not much though. So I'm thinking, see, we got copper all the way down right there too. Okay, so what if we just turn the water pump all the way back down, which wasn't all that much really. But yeah, see, I'm seeing big chunks of copper down here now. So what if we do this? We'll put the screen back in, but just run it on a much more open angle, so it does slow it down some. Maybe. does look a little bit cleaner, but I still see plastic in here too. But I feel like if I stir that copper up, it's all going to come down here into this catch where I see other bits. So what if we, I don't know, I think more pressure might be the answer, but we still need to have some sort of a block right here, because I don't like seeing copper in this plastic material like that. That washed out all the way down. That's how much pressure it has. And the copper moved an extra 1.5 feet down right in front of me. I like that. I do like that idea. But alright, let's try to scooch this stuff up and then throw our screen back in, but leave it on a much more open angle. And we'll see if that helps. Because I don't want to have too much of a loss. See, that copper is washing straight out to the end. I can't have that. I don't want to lose any, I don't want to lose copper. Okay, so let's throw our screen back in, but leave it much more open. Because I still think we need some kind of a blockage. Like, so what if we do it like that? That looks like 50%. There's a 2-3 inch opening there and here. So we're still getting the good flow, but it's going to help keep the material inside the sluice and not go out the back. I'm going to take this stuff and re-sluice it to just make sure to get all the copper up out of it. Still use your idea with the screen and leave it much more open like this, so we got a lot more water passing through. You'll notice in the last video how this would almost be full to the top of this chute with water. Now it's right at about half, and we got a lot more flow coming through. So I still like that idea, but I think if I turn my pump up any more, because that's just at idle speed right there. If I turn that up any more, I think we'll just end up washing copper down into the catch here, like we just did. But that was 2 buckets. And I really like that. I just don't want to see copper material at the end over here. See, there's a piece right there that washed out. It's kind of everywhere in here that I could see. See that? So we still are going to go with the screen, but we've opened it up much more to let water by faster, which gives us the current at the end that I'm seeing now. See all the ripples? I think we're going to do it that way. But I just don't want to lose the copper. Yeah, that's working. I just stirred that up and I could see a lot more plastic and insulation leaving the copper. I like that. Let's see how we did. That is very nice. I see one piece of plastic right here, but that's it. I think we're good, man. That's a lot cleaner than it was. Thank you, Todd. Look at that copper wash back down to me. See, there's copper with plastic on it still. This is the reason why I'm going to run it all twice. But I'm going to get it all chopped up the first time around and then send it all back through and see how fast it would chew up the copper again. That's a lot cleaner. A lot cleaner. And this is 2 buckets worth. So we've sped this process up by opening this up, and I think that's going to be the ticket right there. That's much better. Yeah, that copper wash is way down here now. See, right in front of me. I almost don't even need the rake to rake it up down to me too. I just don't want to see the copper leave and go to the catch. Oh yeah. That's nice. Not bad. Okay, it stopped right there. It's not going any farther than right here. That's almost perfect. All right, let's go dump some more. And I want to rerun this plastic material right there too. I want to see if the copper stays inside the chute and doesn't go to the catch. That's what we're testing right now. Oh! Nikes. We're going to look at that material and see what happened. Yeah, we got our copper staying on this side. I like that. What do we have here? There's nothing. There's no copper in any of this now. I like it. I approve. I definitely approve of this. All right. I can do 2 buckets now. That's what I'm thinking. Todd, you were right. We just tuned it up a little bit. Thank you. Yeah, no copper. Beautiful. And if there is, it's a very small amount. Awesome. All right, let's go dump more buckets. Thank you for that idea, friend. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, here we go. Dump all this and that. Couple buckets. I gotta say, this pressure washer is definitely helping the process here. Speeds up that water quite nicely. So yeah, we're gonna do 2 buckets at a time now. That's what it's looking like. Oh, we can turn up the water pump a little bit too and see if we have any copper loss there either. I just don't want too much current to where it'll end up in that catch screen in the back for the plastic. Sweet. That was 2 buckets. Let's go see what the result was. You've got overflow at the end. It's building up very fast here at the end, but it's clean. It is clean. I like it. That's clean. There's 0% loss right here. And my copper is right here where I'm working. I don't have to rake it down no more. And then we don't have any loss back here, but we still have some plastic material. But with this extra current, it's going to help be able to move that material away. I like it. It cleaned it faster. Wow. Nice. Beautiful. That's not bad at all. See, that wasn't even chopped. That was mixed in there on accident, but I'm tossing it in there anyways to let that regranulate. I'm getting this work done, but at the same time, I'm trying to find out what's most efficient. I think Todd just unlocked a new hack here, man. I'm able to sluice out of twice as much in one go. See, there's a piece with plastic still on it. We sped this process up quite a bit just now. Wow, look at that. Holy crap. That's good. We definitely got an increased water flow here for sure. For sure. Nice. Just making sure it's not going all the way and ending up down there, and it's not. It's beautiful. That's good. Let's go. Oh. Oi. I am having a bit of an overflow problem right here, and I lose water every now and then, but that pressure washer up there is keeping it filled. Beautiful. That's pretty clean, man. That was a big improvement. See? There's a piece right there, but even a lot less than usual, for sure. Nice. Dude, that worked well, man. I'm able to sluice out the rest of those pieces a lot faster. Or yeah, more efficient. Like, there's another piece with copper and plastic. I'm still going to have that problem, but for it to be coming out that much more overall clean, I'm happy, very happy. Not bad. Not bad at all. It's overwhelming the screen a little bit, but by golly, it's clean. See, right there is a problem. If I can get it to just like sit like that or something, maybe toss something there, I don't know. Let's see. How about this piece of lead? Okay, maybe it won't dump out the side anymore. That's cleaner. That's pretty darn clean. Now I definitely think after a second chop on all this, it's going to be just thrown right into the bag for sale. That's what I'm thinking. Beautiful. And yeah, it is getting rid of that more dense plastic a lot easier anyways. I don't like those little pieces, man. Hey, I'm on my very last 2 buckets of everything that I granulated yesterday. I just wanted to show you, well, I got this too actually, but the 2 last buckets right here. I gotta show you guys, man. After I upped the pressure on the pump and opened up that valve a bunch, at the end, I increased the water flow and made this sluice is running so good I could throw 2 buckets in at the same time. That's insane. Todd, man, I appreciate your comment. I really do. You increased the production of my sluice twice as fast. I can't believe it. I can't believe I didn't think of that either, but great job, man. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna dump 2 buckets out this window and then go out there and scoop it up. The problem that I was having the material, insulation material that's too dense. It likes to linger and try to hang with the copper toward the end where the screen is. Increasing the water flow and upping the pressure on the pump just solved the whole problem. Literally solved the whole problem. But as well as it's not getting the chunks of copper with plastic on it still. It's not happening. So we're still going to do a double chop. But we're going to switch gears after I finish the rest of this machine wire that's ready to go. We're going to start pulling BX and collecting our MLC aluminum and throwing our machine wire into the granulator at the same time. But see, I can't get out here fast enough because all the insulation is already rushed down to the end here with no copper in it, see? I filled this bucket up 3 times as fast as those last 2. That's all the plastic and insulation right there. Look at how clean that looks up there. Up until you get to about this part where, yeah, it's not passing through. But simply just whooping this water up a little bit, all that insulation is going right down here now, see? And it's leaving this copper a lot cleaner. And I'm dumping twice as much out now. That means twice as fast. I like that. But if I make that water pressure any greater, it causes a lot of problems back here. See, there's all that hard to get material that just piled up right there that I whooped up. I was whooping it, right? This stuff is heavier than the plastic that's in that bucket. And there's always a small percentage of it that's just always trying to be stuck in the copper or give me a problem. But just doing this a little bit down the sluice cleaned that right up, man. That's nice. With that extra water pressure, I'm just kind of zagging this little rake back and forth. I could see the remainder bits of material washing out to the stream. But guys, this is probably 30 pounds of copper in here or more, and I just cleaned it. That's awesome, man. Very happy. Look. That's cleaner than I've ever gotten it on a first pass. I could say that. I found out you throw it back up a little bit, it'll wash out even more of that stuff, leaving very nice clean scoops. It's nice, man. Bada boom. Throw it up there. I like throwing it up there for some reason. I like watching it wash back down. It's very satisfying. But I'm hoping by the end of the day we'll have a full weight of all the stuff that we chopped from yesterday. Yeah. You know, if it wasn't for the few hours of editing that I have to do on this video, these videos daily to keep up, that could have been 3 more hours doing this too, so keep that in mind. That's why I'm saying if I could probably process 1,000 pounds of machine wire per day through this, that's if I'm not editing videos. That's a quarter of the day down the tube right there. And I'm proud to do that to show you guys what I got going on back here. And Todd that left that comment this morning just made my life so much easier. Thank you. I'm sluicing twice as much now. That washes out almost everything. Look! That's great! See, there's one with copper in it still. Plastic and copper. I saved up this wire from the whole summer of dumpster diving, okay? So keep that in mind. That's why it's taking me a few days over here, that's all. I'm chopping a lot of wire. In the end, it'll be worth it. This is the slower part of my season here is when fall time hits and winter comes. Scrap metal slows down, and so I save the work for later. You know what I mean? See, there's a little bit of stuff right there. I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but we're going to re-chop it. We're going to try to liberate these little bits right here. without having to sit there for hours and hours picking them out by hand. I can't do that. I need this to be productive, you know. It's got to be productive. But everything in here is done. That whole bag, all these buckets and baskets, and I got a little bit of stuff right here. Let's just dump out. And all right. I will be saving all the copper you see laying on the floor. Just not yet. It's getting windy. It's supposed to rain today, so I'm getting everything I can done. But look at the differences. The copper is here instead of up there, which actually lines up to my workstation a lot better. That's really nice, but you're still going to have little pieces like that. We're going to chop it again, man. See, there's 2 chunks right there that did not process. We're going to solve these problems by re-chopping and not putting small stuff like that, obviously. That's beautiful. That's a rock. You see, there's that. I don't want to pick these out by hand. They're going through the machine again. That's what I think. All right. I'm going to chop up the rest of that machine wire right there, and I think I actually have another. The very last stuff that I had processed out here. Yeah, I do. Look. We're bringing this in there to chop. Yep. Awesome. Very happy. I'm very pleased. I didn't think I'd wake up this morning to be able to upgrade my machine to process twice as much. Thank you, Todd. That was a great suggestion, and it worked. It worked good. Thank you. I'm still on the same tank of gas. I never threw gas in that. It would start on a full tank, and it's been going and going. So not very much fuel cost at all, really. I'm gonna jump inside and get a little bit of food, and we're gonna come out here and start chopping wire and sluicing it, okay?
Worked so long in construction that I forgot I had a dream. Didn't know where I was going, didn't like where I had been. So one day I gave it all up when my eyes were open wide. I packed my life into my truck with Mason Boy by my side. I kept driving, but I had to make ends meet. I started thriving by scrapping industry, dumpster diving, and street scrapping throughout America. From Michigan to Ohio, down to Florida. Merchant metals, channel, leave a thumbs up and say hi. I bought myself a trailer, so when I'm on the road, I have a rolling workshop and can scrap a heavy load. When it feels like life is hard, I know just what to do. I hit the road and recycle scrap and make my dreams come true. I kept driving, but I had to make ends meet. I started thriving by scrapping in the street, dumpster diving, street scrapping throughout America. From Michigan to Ohio, down to Florida. Merchant metals, recycle, don't destroy. Merchant metals, my dog Mason boy. Merchant metals, thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up and say hi. Merchant metals, recycle, don't destroy. Merchant metals, and my dog Mason boy. Merchant metals, thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up and say hi.